So, Jason, so you said you saw, was it a meme or what was it?
I think it was probably a meme. I don't know. It's not important. Some of these other ones we've done, it was cool to like include the meme. This one was just like some random pictures of movies, but they was just talking about you know, so often when they make trilogies or franchises with at least three movies, I think the third one is like the worst one by far. And
Mhm.
and there's so many examples of that. So it was just asking the thought, the question, of course, was like the subject was, what are the best third installments of either trilogies or film franchises, you know, based on your opinion.
Uh, well, obviously RoboCop. Um,
How dare you? That one fits in the worst
Isn't the
category.
one with the drugs, the third one?
yeah,
No, the second one, the
Second one's
nuke
the
is the
drugs.
second one. That one's awesome. Yeah,
yeah,
that's the Irving Kershner one. No, the third one is the one with the like it's just awful. It's like PG-13 and
yeah,
it like RoboCop flies in it. It's terrible.
yeah.
Uh it's a I can I love talking about that one because of a I can't take credit for this. It was like some critic was talking about it on their YouTube channel and they were like describing how at the beginning of the movie the Ed 209 gets hacked by like a little child and
Mhm.
they're like you watch this movie, you love the first one, and there's this big robot thing that you love so much, and then in this movie this like little child can just take it down no problem. And the guy says it's a real kick in the dick, like it's a real bad way to start the movie. No, anyway, yeah, that one's
Uh,
terrible, just like so many other third installments are.
Yeah, and I
Like
think we've discussed this a
Critters
bit
3
with
was like the worst.
trilogies. Um,
yeah,
when we spoke trilogies, and
Yeah.
also not too long ago, the Lord of the Rings. To me personally, I mean the two best examples, definitely the Return of the King is for me is a solid best of those three. I know I think you guys voted for like the Two Towers.
It's a very
Um,
good movie. I won't argue
mhm.
with anyone about the third Return of the King being considered the best. It's
I
very
I
good.
just feel like it like it really lands the plane of
Yeah.
this build up, like the story that was built up, like it really because the third movie in a trilogy is oftentimes like sort of like the third act of the
Yeah.
trilogy in some ways, and it's very tough to land the plane of like a huge
Oh yeah.
undertaking.
I mean,
The
let's look
source
at like
material was just very
X-Men
good.
3, Superman 3,
Yeah.
Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man's, Spider-Man 3, RoboCop 3. I mean, Critters 3. That's just the
I mean,
Pirates of the Caribbean 3. I mean, it's
Yeah,
yeah.
so many bad third ones.
Even like Return of the Jedi, which would be another example for me because it used to be my favorite of the three growing up. It's as I've gotten older, I realized like the first one, like the f episode four, is really like a perfect movie. And it's a miracle that it actually worked.
Yeah.
Um, but Return of the Jedi definitely, I feel like takes it one step further as far as like the sense of adventure and landing the plane. I
Landing
really
that
feel like
plane.
they do a really
yeah,
good job. It's just that it's not as perfect as the first one. But as far as
Yeah.
like if we're just talking generally, really good third movies,
Yeah.
it's definitely up there. And
Some
the
of the boomers and the older Gen Xers get pissed off about the Ewoks and the puppets and stuff, but like I don't think it detracts from Star Wars at all. I think it's great.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
because you have critters and creatures all throughout the thing, and it's all
yeah, but
rubber
they
stuff, and some of it is like
they're
fur.
the argument they would make is that you've got Chewbacca basically, but really aside from the cantina scene, Star Wars is pretty much like a lot of humans and robots, and then in the second one, it's mostly humans and robots. There's not like a whole lot. It's like the third one is when you get a long Jabba's palace sequence, and now it's not just brief glimpses of aliens. It's like we've got like puppets, and stuff going on, and
mhm.
then you follow that up with the Ewoks. I am not trying to make an argument for that mindset, by the way. I disagree entirely. I'm just trying to, play devil's advocate here.
Yeah, no, and I think. This like wasn't there like something about that it was supposed to be Kashyyyk or like at least like
Sure, why not? Yeah.
the species of like it was supposed to be, but then but I also think that what's cool about the Ewoks, much like the Hobbits and Lord of the Ring, it's about the little guys in the
Yeah.
galaxy that can make a difference, that they can fight, they can, they can matter. It's their freedom as well that's on the line. It's their lives that are being encroached on, even if they're like fuzzy little bears. It doesn't mean that they can't put up a fight.
Fuzzy
Yeah.
little carnivorous bears that ate
Yeah,
stormtroopers.
yeah, for
Clearly.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess
Um,
outside of those two, I mean, what are other ones? I mean, like I definitely Back to the Future 3, even though it's a decent movie, to me it's like a dip from the first and second.
I agree. I love Back to the Future 3, but it's not as good as the first two.
Yeah. Yeah.
My picks would be obviously Return of the Jedi, but like my picks for the ones that stand out to me, the three I wrote down were Toy Story 3, uh, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and I think Goldfinger is arguably like the best Bond movies, and that was the third one. So that's
Hmm.
Okay.
I don't
Maybe I
think
Yeah.
should.
Goldfinger is as good as Toy Story 3. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I have a problem with Toy Story 3, the whole prison movie thing. I
I
remember
love
I
that
mentioned
one.
it at some point, but maybe
Yeah.
I should revisit it. I think Quentin Tarantino loves it or something.
I agree. I
Yeah.
completely agree with Quentin Tarantino. It's like perfect ending to the trilogy, and they did not need to
Oh,
make
and
any
then
more.
like he's upset that they did a fourth one. Yeah.
They're going to do a fifth, from what I hear, and it's really
Uh,
unnecessary.
yeah, I think it's coming out this summer.
Yeah, it's very unnecessary.
Yeah, it's
It's their franchise. It's their Bond.
yeah. There's a reason why we have a clean, nice word for three, like the trilogy. When you get into the quad and quin and sex and like a sextuple or whatever, no, it's just leave it at three. Just leave it at three. Uh, I, yeah,
It goes into
God does what.
saga territory. Yeah.
Yeah, we figured this out with Indiana Jones, and like yeah, yeah, just
That's a
don't
good
do it.
example. The third one is pretty good.
Yeah,
It
and
is, but it's. I think it's. I love that movie, but I think Raiders of the Lost Ark is a lot better than.
Yeah, no.
well, yeah,
Return of the King is the only movie I think that is the third and the best that I can think of.
I
Um,
would say Toy Story 3 is the best out of those
Out
three
of
for sure.
those,
yeah,
I don't know. I have a fondness for the original one, but
yeah,
Oh, I have a deep love for all the Toy Story movies, but I think for me it clearly goes three, one, two, four, but
mm,
and four being a big drop off. Even though I did like it, it's just
yeah,
I think Guardians 3 is excellent movie. I do think the first one's a better movie though.
yeah. I
yeah,
think when we did that, we agreed. I mean, some of us, not all of us, but that like the second one was a dip for some of us, but the third
Yeah,
one
you
was like,
guys all thought that. I didn't
yeah,
agree.
yeah, you didn't agree, but
I know since we're talking about comic book movies, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you guys both saw this. Maybe you did. I don't know if Gil, if you saw it or not. But out of the new Spider-Man movies, the ones with Tom Holland, I believe that the third one is by far the best out of those
hmm.
three.
yeah,
Isn't that the one with the multiverse thing that
Yeah,
the multiple Spider-Mans?
it's really
Yeah, it
solid.
seems like it got good responses when
It's really
mm,
good. It's
yeah.
just like really
maybe
good.
I'll watch it with the kids someday, that trilogy. I just never aren't they coming up with a
Yeah,
fourth one for that one?
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
This
yeah, that's
year,
coming out. Yeah,
I'm concerned about it.
yeah, I think that's actually like the reason that they put tickets out for the Odyssey a year in advance was to like force themselves into the IMAX spots in competition with Spider-Man. But and I think Dune's doing the same thing with Avengers. Like the Dune tickets just went on sale like a week ago and like sold
Mm,
out in 30 seconds.
yeah,
But uh, yeah,
crazy.
Gotta be some big uh big box office days coming up this year. But anyway, one thing that kind of stuck out to me, popped into my head, and it's not really so much that the third installment is the best, but that just in general, the trilogy was pretty damn good, and the third one was also pretty damn good. War for the Planet of the Apes.
Hmm.
Yeah, that one is a really good movie. That third one, um,
Yeah,
I I do think it's very overshadowed by the second one, which I think is by far the best out of the three.
yeah,
But I do think the third one's better than the first one.
yeah.
I've heard so many people tell me that that fourth one is excellent, and I did not see it because I kind of felt like the story was over, and I was like, I don't know if I need to see any more of these, but
Yeah,
I
same
should
with
give it a
me.
shot. I
Yeah,
mean, I love monkey movies. I don't see why I wouldn't see it. You know,
yeah. I never ended up seeing the fourth one, but uh,
I've heard multiple people from different, like whether it's an online critic or like a person I'm just talking to, a friend or something. But I've heard a couple people just tell me like, "What? You didn't see the fourth one? It's so good."
yeah, it is kind of crazy thinking about that whole franchise though, because like I remember seeing the first one with Anam, and like we went in like not for anybody listening, ex-girlfriend at one point. But
Yeah.
anyway, I mean, like we really came in with zero expectations and like left the movie like, holy shit, that was something.
Yeah.
But uh,
Especially visually with the whole like the camera zooming in to the CGI ape and it like looks so real that it gets up to his eyeball.
yeah, the first word that comes out of Caesar's mouth, like being in the theater when that happens, and just like the shock of that, and
Mm.
but yeah, I mean, just as in general, that trilogy just turned out way better than just about anybody could have expected it to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exceeded. That's what I was gonna say. Exceeded expectations. That one. Wasn't it like Matt Reeves was involved with it?
Yeah,
Uh,
he directed the last two.
The
okay.
last two. Yeah, because like they're very different from the first one. That
Yeah.
kind of there's certain trilogies that were like the first. I feel like the example of like of the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly too. I feel like the that third one is so divorced from the first two. The first two are
Yeah.
definitely like in the same universe and
They are. Yeah.
they're very similar. Like the second one is basically like up the ante, everything is bigger, better. But then so the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is a transformational movie. It's
Yeah.
just it's like for me it's on the level with like 2001 Lawrence of Arabia. It just it kind of goes to like this other like realm of like movie level that's just it's beyond a movie in some way. It's like an experience.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
almost like a religious
Transcends.
yeah, religious experience to some degree. But so that it's tough to connect it. But before I forget, like also one that often is to come up with trilogies and definitely the third one is the best one is the Kieslowski like three colors blue white and red
Yeah,
the the
still never
red
oh
saw it.
yeah,
the red
yeah.
is easily the best movie out of those three but and it is the third one
I'm
so
frustrated that I borrowed those movies from one of you guys for like 3 months and I never got around to watching them. I was very frustrated at myself for that.
hmm. I wonder
Yeah.
if they're streaming now. Oh, it's a Criterion Collection.
Man, I actually did a scene from Red for a cinematography class exercise. Uh
Hmm.
but, but um I actually feel like I'm a bigger fan of White than most people uh
Hmm.
are, but that was definitely the most lighthearted of them, but
Yeah, and you know what?
um
I think when I revisited it, I liked it better. Because I remember not liking it the first time. Like the blue is just a downer.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, Red definitely just like fires on all cylinders. It's just like a really well put movie, like really well put together. But yeah, I
yeah.
mean, they're all different and also very very heavy. So it's just like It is Koslowski, but yeah. Any other ones that third
Um,
movies that we haven't?
I really enjoy Army of Darkness a lot more than the
Mm.
previous two, but I don't even know if you would really call that a trilogy because
See, that's
like
also I feel like it's a bit divorced from Evil
to
Dead 1 and 2.
100% divorced,
Mm.
yes, and
It's a bit more of a
all three of those are
spoof.
a little different because the first two are kind of, I mean, Evil Dead 2 is kind of a sort of a remake of Evil Dead 1.
Mm.
And then the second or the sequel to that, the Army of Darkness, goes into like such a different territory and so much. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, third movies are tough to pull off.
Yeah. I wrote down. Oh, I does not deserve to be anywhere on the list of like greatest third installments of all time, but just personally for me, both Harry Potter 3 and Mission Impossible 3 are my favorites of those franchises.
Hmm. The Mission Impossible 3 was De Palma,
That was the
No,
first one,
or the
and then the
second
second one
one.
was
no,
John Woo.
J.J.
The third one was
Abrams.
J.J. Abrams.
Which one was the third one?
That's the one with Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh
He
no,
kind
it
of
was
brings,
J.J. Abrams for the
yeah,
third one. Oh, okay.
J.J.
I remember like
Hmm.
Brad Bird directed the
He did
fourth
the
one.
fourth one, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because like there's this movie that from my childhood that I was really into. It's called Animal Olympics. I don't know if you guys know it.
I don't.
It's on
Hmm.
Prime if you want to check it out. I'm actually considering like maybe I'll suggest it as a movie at some point to do. But it's nice to do animation from time. It's an animated movie about the Olympics. Like it's with animals
Oh,
and it's not exactly for kids. It's kind of like skirts the whole like it's for a lot of tongue in cheek for adults because it's like Billy Crystal. It was made in the early 80s. It's a lot of like kind of names from the early 80s, like actors that are in it and stuff, and they do all this very serious stuff. Like he does like Muhammad Ali, like impersonation and stuff. And there's great music, and the music is really good. There's like music sequences and stuff. But when I was watching the credits I was watching the movie with the kids. I was watching the credits, and one of the animators on it was a young Brad Bird, I'm assuming.
Ah,
It's like probably where he got his start. Like he was doing animation in
yeah,
some of these movies and then like worked up to, I mean, I'm assuming an animator at Pixar and then he directed some movies
yeah.
yeah.
and then crossed over to live action. Anywho, but that's not a third movie. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
not that many of them. I mean, obviously there's like the Marvel ones. They have a lot of third ones, but those don't tend to be stellar. I think like Iron Man 3 was not great. Thor 3 was so-so.
Iron Man 3
It was better than
is
two.
a great
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Tony Stark movie.
Yeah.
It's not a great Iron Man movie, but it's really great.
I guess I don't even know if I've seen it, but I
If you
know
don't, if you go
it
into it
doesn't have
knowing
as
you're not
much
going
of
to
a
get a lot of
reputation
Iron
as
Man.
the first one.
Oh, you should see it. It's Shane Black directed it,
Oh,
Yeah.
um,
and it's
yeah.
and surprise, surprise, it's a Christmas movie.
Hmm.
Yeah.
um, yeah, the a lot of most people would argue that the third Captain America is. I think it's the best one, but I mean, it's like that one and the second one are like so neck and neck. They're both so damn good. So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
uh,
that's the one with the um
Civil War is the third
Civil
one. Second one is
Civil War.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's one.
Yeah, it's a good one. Um, there's so many that are bad, but we don't need to go into all those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Generally, I feel like that's actually a good point too, is that oftentimes like you see all these things that are like sort of like the first movie is like what's the word like
Innovative or
well just like not
good.
what's the phrasing magic in a bottle or
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like
Lightning in a bottle.
lightning in a bottle
Yeah.
or something, yeah.
Yeah.
But just like if there's like some sort of inspiration, something
Yeah,
that like, comes out of nowhere like the Matrix or
yeah,
the way they nailed the first Pirates of the Caribbean, like the
sure.
first time you see Johnny Depp do that character
The
and
first
then
Blade
this
movie.
the sense of adventure and all that stuff. It's like it's really, I mean, and then once you start to expand on it, Jurassic Park too, also like it's once you start expanding on it, it's like no, you had it. It's good. That's
You
what
had it.
movies are about. Sometimes just one movie, just like The Matrix. I really feel like it's just it's too bad they had sequels because it was such a perfect movie. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, but it's very tough to like expand on it unless you really know where you're going. If you have like a Visions or like a George Lucas or like
In
Tolkien.
their defense, I would say that they had a very good vision for where the Matrix sequels were going, but they should have made one epic sequel to it that expanded the universe and expanded the lore, expanded everything to let us see the big battle and everything. Because, like you said, they didn't land the plane very well. Like the second one mostly just suffered from poor CGI because they didn't give them enough time to like really pull off the difficult things they were trying to do with the movie, like with the multiple Hugo Weavings. Like it looks kind of
Yeah.
fake in that fight, even though it was I mean, groundbreaking stuff. But I mean, they just
Mm.
didn't really pull it off. Whereas everything looks perfect in the first movie. It looks amazing, and then the story is really interesting. The stuff where the second one goes is very fascinating. But and then all of a sudden you got to get to the third one, and it just doesn't really succeed the way we want it to. It just kind of ends, and it's good, but nowhere near what we wanted.
And there are the examples with good filmmakers like Nolan or like uh James Cameron, the T2 and the Dark Knight, like the
Sure.
movies where like you sort of like set up the world and then you kind of go all out with the second
Yeah.
one. So
Mm.
there's the second one being those are a
Better
bit more, yeah,
sometimes.
they're more common, I would say, than a third one being successful. Even Nolan and I don't think Cameron didn't do the third one, did he?
What?
The
No,
third Terminator.
no,
No.
he did not.
Yeah.
And that third Terminator is a huge letdown, but it's hilarious to me that with every new Terminator they make, that third one's looking better and better and better.
Yeah.
Uh, it's actually funny with some of the recent installments of Terminator. I'm even looking back on Salvation with a little bit of nostalgia, but um, not to say that it's a good movie, but
Yeah,
uh,
whatever happened to McG? Is he still making movies?
That's a good question.
I
I
don't
thought
Didn't he
he
know.
made
do
one recently.
Salvation?
He did. I think
Yeah,
he did something recently.
Yeah,
Um,
I guess he did The Babysitter in 2017, The Babysitter Killer Queen. He's doing like what's
thought
the
he did
horror
something very
movies?
recently. No, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, he's doing these horror movies. It seems like these
Yeah.
like cheap horror movies.
so it seems like Shane Hurlbut's career was actually hurt less by that movie than McGee's was. Uh, but uh,
Uglies. He did Uglies in 2014. It's
Didn't
on
see it.
yeah,
Netflix. Anyways,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a tough
but
business.
I guess
Yeah.
on the point of the Matrix, though, I mean, this is the reason why Dark City still stands as the better movie. It didn't have any sequels to sully its legacy.
It's
I,
it should have been a double episode. The We should have done Matrix back then, but I guess it was your choice. You focus
Yeah,
on it. But maybe if we ever do the Matrix, it can be a point of
we
comparison
could
because
even though it's a stupid thing to do, we could compare Dark City to uh no, see, it just doesn't work. They both tie to the Matrix. I was gonna say, like, because you could do um
so the Matrix to the Matrix to Dark City is what Equilibrium is
that's
to
I was gonna say what I was trying to
to
say is
like
that like
Fahrenheit
I
451.
was gonna make a joke that like that you
oh,
could get since we already did the other one, Dark City, that we could do it that way, but it's like it really feels like I don't know. It feels like that one would go better with the Matrix, and then the Matrix would go better with with Dark City, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Well,
I
what's
don't
the
know.
other one? The You
But
said
Um,
Matrix, Dark City, and
oh,
Equilibrium.
oh,
Equilibrium.
Equilibrium.
Sorry, it's
Yeah.
getting
No, I
I'm
mean,
getting
I think you know what? I mean, it's Equilibrium is kind of like appropriate because Equilibrium is basically what the Matrix is with not as much substance. Like,
how dare you?
it's
Yeah.
like it's a bit too like and the world doesn't make as much sense as the Matrix. Like the Matrix is like this perfect concoction of like a profound metaphor about life and existence and reality, sort of like what Dark City is, only you add the special effects, the action, the adventure element, which is you can't deny that that's on a different level than Dark City. It's just a different movie.
So,
It's not trying to do that thing. It's Dark City is more of a noir. It's more of a psychological thriller, where The Matrix is almost like an adventure movie. It's like Alice in Wonderland, or like
oh,
It absolutely is.
yeah.
I, I just kind of like the Matrix is basically Dennis Leary to Dark City's Bill Hicks.
Oh my god.
No, that's the thing.
um,
It's definitely not. Like I think
Yeah.
I maybe like maybe the Matrix is like George Carlin to Dark City Bill Hicks.
um, I I've always thought that the Matrix was really amazing because there's we all go to Alice in Wonderland, but there's so many movies that take that premise, and not even like rip-offs. I'm saying like great movies, shows, TV shows, premise things, stories. There's it's the idea of the character going to Wonderland. There's Alice in Wonderland,
Mhm.
there's Wizard of Oz, there's the anime Escaflowne. There's like, I mean, the list goes on and on and on, of that storyline. The
Mhm.
difference with the thing about the Matrix is it's not that. It's like, oh, we're gonna find out that real life that we as we see it is Wonderland, and
Mhm.
they're
Yeah.
pulling him out of Wonderland and pulling him into the real world. The real
Yeah.
world is horrible and uh, post-apocalyptic, and and whatever. And then he has
If
to
anything, it's
choose.
an optimistic movie if it thinks that are like the life we live now or is like some comfortable.
Oh God, you've seen you've seen the meme, I'm sure, right? Where it says, when I first saw The Matrix, I laughed because Hugo Weavings has his monologue where he says, "Oh, the first Matrix was a paradise, and we lost all these crops because all the humans trying to wake up from it. You have to have some sort of conflict in your life, otherwise you won't accept it. You have to have suffering, whatever."
You have
So
to have suffering. Yeah.
he says we modeled the new Matrix after your most the peak of your civilization. He says, the person says, I laughed so much when I watched The Matrix and they described the late 90s as the peak of human civilization. And says, now 20 years later, I'm starting to think that was right.
Yeah. It's like Gen Z is all into 90s stuff and
Well, and just like, I mean, we had the internet, we had computers to make certain things a lot easier in our lives, but we didn't quite have like smartphones and social media yet, to like ruin our lives.
it
It
was definitely a simpler time.
was a very simple time, good
Uh,
time, great
Yeah.
time for movies too.